Now let's take a look at the second part in an easy progression for teaching backstroke, the backstroke arms. Let's take a look at an easy progression to teach the backstroke arms the correct way. A great place to start is by learning the double arm backstroke. Have your students start by opening up their arms out of the water, dropping them with their pinky down, then pulling the water sideways just under the surface of the water with a slight bend in their arms, then finish by pushing the water down past their hips. Next, have your students practice swimming that same arm stroke but with one arm at a time. Sometimes it's easy to have the students do just the left arm or just the right arm. And this is also a good time to help your students learn to lift their arm up high into the air, turn their wrist, and karate chop the water behind them. And finally, have your students practice doing the backstroke arms one at a time, alternating left, right, left, right. And ideally, every time your student does do a backstroke arm stroke, they should be able to rotate their shoulders while keeping their head still. Now let's take a look at the most common way that someone will swim the backstroke arm stroke incorrectly. The most common way this stroke will be performed incorrectly is when someone pulls deep underwater during their backstroke. Remember that the pull should be shallow and focused sideways with a slight bend in the arm, kind of like throwing a baseball. Another mistake people make with backstroke is by bending the elbow without actually pulling the water. In this case, a student will pull their elbow down to their sides without actually putting pressure on the palm of their hand, which will make their backstroke very ineffective. Since this mistake mostly happens underwater, it is easily missed by a lot of instructors. So just remember, a swimmer will perform the stroke correctly when they initiate the stroke more from a sideways pull motion underneath the surface of the water rather than digging deep underneath the water. I hope that helped out with you teaching the backstroke arms, and the one last step is timing. Click on the next video.